Good morning. It is the 8th day of May 2019. My name is Derek. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Let's start off with a market that was not expected, not important, and we'll go over it very quickly. As the Swiss franc and British pound is in at 75.53 handle, up to the 18 average of highs on the daily term time frame, but on the weekly term time frame it has been making lower highs. I guess a matching low in here, but definitely showing the overall weakness. And on the monthly term time frame, you had to move from here to here in 2011 to this point, but there's a lot of data. It's going higher, so that looks pretty good. Let's move on. We'll take a look at gold, but I'll take a look at it this way. Just show all the periods in here, the two lines. Yeah, it's hanging in there. All of these markets that I'm going to be showing in order, we're going to take a look at them on a data level. So I'm not done with the Swiss franc and the pound, I think it was. And I'm not done with gold. Silver doesn't have the same type of look, but it's a more volatile one we can see just within the numbers. It's a shame we don't have data going back, because 1968 data for me is easy to get. So at least statistically, I can work with this a little bit more. Gold silver ratio, it's pretty much at the highest it's been on this market time frame. 86.217, which means you need 86.2 ounces of silver to get about 1 ounce of gold. It was around 32 down here, and its historical number is 16, and it's even been below 10 before since 1968. The low I have before this is 14 on the downside, and the hair above 100, 100.75 is the levels I have statistically came up with. How accurate and how far they've been intraday, well, I don't know. Now let's move on to Bitcoin. I'll give this some more time. And again, we're going to get back to the gold, silver, and all those other markets, and even this one. It's up today, which surprises me. It really does. I'm surprised, and I'll explain in just a little bit when I put the hour chart on. Yesterday's session had a high of 5,974, closing at 57.5. Right now, 58.5 almost. Not quite to the 18 highs on any of the support within the last 3 days, but darn near close. But well, if when you do the eyeglass test and you try to read those number letters, and some are big, some are small, or some are easy to tell, well, here's the easy one. Did this come down to the line? The answer is no, it didn't. There's a noticeable difference. And that tells me that the Bears versus Bulls battles and the correction is most certainly being won by the Bulls. Buyers have been in complete control of this market for quite some time on the daily term. And we are seeing a bullish setup amongst that. So, what's the trend? Trend is your friend. The probability odds to me remain, and it has been the same. It's just okay. So, we've had a target level come in here, resist. Okay, as far as trading, maybe you sold in here. Well, that was long gone. You sold at 48. That's game over for that play. But then as the next couple days go by, you're like, okay, wait a second here. This was a play to sell here and buy it back, maybe a little bit here, maybe buy it back at 41, and um, it didn't do that. Okay, well, this line that was put in here was put back in during the bottom of this market, and I've already removed two lines below it. But I calculated a whole bunch of Fibonacci levels, the smallest that I possibly could that would have made sense. And they did make sense during that time. But all of the late 2018 and all the 2019 early action is long forgotten. And the up move, when you've seen everything that was going on, it was like, okay, it didn't take long. Within like a couple days, it was pretty much telling you, and then screaming it at this point, around April 7th, that, yep, we're going to 63.41. And I was thinking it was going to do it in like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, or one day even. Not a span of over 1 month. But the market does what it does. And amongst it, we've seen this just go up. The Bitcoin ratio is just skyrocketing, well more than 50% now of the cryptocurrencies is market cap is in that of Bitcoin. So everything else, not Bitcoin, is worth less than this market itself. Okay, so with that being said, we see definitely the nice little setup here. A few days going sideways, but a very, very, very good momentum. The single hour time frame, and this was the hour. Wow, it's recovering this nicely. And maybe it's because of what's been the tweets that have come out from Binance. The big news last night was there was a security breach, and a pretty large one at that. And let's just go over the numbers a little bit and just see how big the game really is. They had 7,000 Bitcoin that were stolen from them. At current prices, that works out to about 40 million US dollars. Now, where this is going to go within this 7,000 Bitcoin, well, I'm not entirely sure. And Binance is the biggest, most secure, and all this exchange that everyone talks about. And they got hacked for $40 million. Now, Binance came out and mentioned that with one of their insurance programs and the fact it was 2% of what they own, that everyone's safe as far as their funds, at least if you, it's either they said that or if you read between the lines, they say that. They did state that the wallets are basically offline for about a week. So if you're doing any type of trades like myself, where, okay, things like Komodo and Litecoin, well, I guess if I do that, I'm doing that on Bittrex now, at least for the week. GRS and Litecoin, same thing. I'm going to have to do that on Bittrex. And Theta and Dash, I won't be trading that this next week or so. As the markets, of course, the wallets are offline. You can't deposit, you can't withdraw. I was actually looking to buy Theta last night. And then I seen that all the wallets were offline, and then I looked, oh wow. But the market doing what it has done and recovered as nice as it has because the market didn't even fall too much from an event so large, 5,900 down to 5,650. It's one story when Cryptopia, a much smaller exchange, gets breached, and then when the biggest one gets breached. And because they said it was 2% of their holdings, we can multiply this number by 50. I guess they're a $2 billion company, at least as far as their probably Bitcoin. And if that's their Bitcoin, they're probably around that. They could be double that because they could have 2 billion in altcoins as well. But or maybe 1.4 given the dominance or whatever. I don't know. But they are a big company, and they went through a major situation. And Bitcoin, since that fact, 1920 hours, has been grinding its way higher. It's close to a 61.8% level from this. Well, let's figure that out. Didn't plan on it. 59.74.51. And the low comes in at 56.26.26. Key numbers are 57, 57, and 58.39. So it has come up to that level, 58. Yeah, I'm 58.39. So right in here, it resisted it here, 58.39. Perfect number. I mean, why does it always do that? Anyway, it hits the 61.8% Fibonacci level on the 2-hour timestamp, pauses it, and then it resists it back down close to the 18 lows, pauses it, and then it rallies up showing symmetricalness because we can see uptrend line, and then within these periods in here, it really had to get above that resistance. It did. Since then, it's had 3 hours of pausing such. Very strong play so far. I'm seeing 3 periods holding and staying above. As far as the first Fibonacci number was concerned at 57.57, how did that number play out? Well, I guess we'll take a look at the 15 and see. It broke through it fast, and then it had, well, really, again, well, not as slow as the daily, but a slow move to the next level at 51. It did kind of support it here, though. Anyway, let's finish off with Bitcoin. Let's move on to, let's go into GRS. And just one of the things of note, I mean, I'm only going to show what the daily chart shows. It's been going down for quite some time. It's pretty much broken down below the support. One day doing all of this. It's taken all of this time to get everything that it gained back. In the crypto space like this, markets go up a lot faster than they go down. DGB, same thing. It was at 400. It's now at 171. It's lost more than half of its value. And it looked like it went up a little, about a bit faster than it went down here. But it's been going straight down now. And weekly chart, well, it's had big volatility before. The symmetricalness, well, it already broken the symmetricalness back in 2018. It still has support, maybe roughly at this 100. So in playing this, it's either going to be a magnificent coin because it's so damn cheap and we're going to have amazing volatility moving forward, or if it goes to nothing, it goes to nothing. And that's part of risk reward for myself in playing this coin, and I'm continuing to do so. And, well, if it breaks that support line on the daily, I'll probably be buying some via that of, about 4 different coins. Now it's on to text data. All those coins I talked about are included here. Gold to dollar. The number of times it has gained 50% or 1.5 times the last price point we're using, or lost a third of its value, 33 point and the 3 to forever percent. And we're going back to 1968 and the start of that year, before I was even born. Now over 50 years. 19 times. 19 times it has done it. And last time it did it was on May the 3rd, 2011. When it got over 15.35. It's either got to go below 10.31, and it was close. It went to 10.45. And above 23.1975. As far as silver, it's done it 33 times. Last time was going under 17.44 on September 29th, 2014, with a close at 16.95. Now it's got to go to 11.30 or 25.42. It's not really close. It's closer to 11.30 now, but it's still a little ways away. 33 times. The ratio of gold to silver. Number of times it's had a 50% gain or all that type of stuff. 18 times, which is lower. And one of the things I've stated with the ratio is if you got coins that work together, go up or down together consistently, probably not the greatest of ones to put together, because that probably will lower your volatility. I mean, there's a difference between, now obviously, say over a 6-month period they go up together, but within the 6 month they have wild swings here and there. That's when it can be fine. But if your ratio is more than both of them before, it's a good one, I think. That's one way of looking at it. Anyway, the last time this was crossed was August 25th, 2015. So it's got to go to 53 or 119. So it's a long ways away from both right now. And almost 13,000 trading days has passed since we've had those 18 and 33 times moves of that volatility. Bitcoin against the dollar. And I can go back to when the exchange on Bitstamp begun, which was on September the 13th, 2011. The price was $5.97. So I'm multiplying that by 1.5. I'm multiplying that by 2 divided by 3, or 0.66 forever, to find it. And then once it hits that price, okay, well, that closes a new price. We'll keep on multiplying that by either 1.5 or the 3, and however long it takes until it gets there is how long it takes. So Bitcoin against the US dollar, times it's had a 50% gain and all that stuff, is 42 times. The last time was across over 5,678 on date May the 4th, or 4 days ago. So now it's either got to get across below 38.43.10 or above 86.46.97. That should happen this year. Moving on. GRS against Bitcoin. 76 times it has crossed. And it is about 75-80% likely it'll be 77 by the end of the day. Because it was so close yesterday. It was a micro fraction away, like 1/3, 1/4, 1/5 of a percent on its close to the number my spreadsheet said it had to be. So I mean, it's all whatever on that, but it actually works out too. I mean, one spread it's doing different sets of numbers. The numbers might change one or two extra times or whatever. It's still going to be in the same variable concept, but 76 times. So it's January 29, 2015. So 2016 is 1 year. 2017 is 2. I guess 2019 would be 4, plus another bit more, 4 1/3 years. And then the ratio is crossed 93 times. To get this kind of volatility, you're certainly not getting that on the gold or the silver, but you're able to get that within. Now, I'm trying to find not well maybe better ones if there. I'm trying to see what the premium ones are today. What are the best coins to do this with? Because you need markets that are not going to go down long term from this point moving forward. You also need coins that are going to be volatile and don't share, like if one has a decent move, oh, whenever this coin goes up 40% or have big days, usually this coin goes up that day too. Don't put those together. And then when that's the case, that's when you get the supreme gains. Now the final statistic is the Great Britain pound and the Swiss franc. Since September the 16th, 1992, using the same 50% up or 33% down, it has made one cross. Thank you for tuning in to today's video, and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.